Wait, hold on. Wait. Okay, we just started recording. Ernesto, can you literally just tell me what you said right now?
Okay, yeah. When I was like 15. I was at my friend's house, and I kept saying herpes. I kept telling him he had herpes. I kept calling him herp. And then he pulled me over to the side because this is in clear view of his mom. She was listening to all this. He pulled me to the side and he told me that his mom had herpes.
That's fucked up, man.
Yeah.
Was she hot?
No.
That's even more gross.
No, I was like, first of all, why would you tell me that your mom's got herpes? You could just let it slide the whole time. You know what I mean? It was uncomfortable. It was weird, you know?
Were you guys close?
We were pretty close. We would sleep over at each other's houses all the time.
And it's like, what would you guys talk about?
I don't know. He was really into video games. We were fucking nerds, man. I wasn't cool. I didn't do any drugs in high school.
Damn. Now you do the drugs.
Yeah.
Redemption.
It's cool. But I'm not like not just weed, you know what I mean? Alcohol, things of that nature, but nothing crazy, you know? I feel like I'm getting pretty good, you know?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I shouldn't. Anyway, so welcome to the Set Breaker Podcast. And today we have a guest. His name is Ernesto Ledezma. Did I say it right?
Yeah.
Ledezma.
Ernesto Ledezma, guys. What is
can
up?
You say it in the Spanish way so I could say it the same exact way you say it?
Ledezma.
The whole name.
Ernesto Ledezma.
Ernesto Ledezma.
You gotta roll Ernesto Ledezma.
Ernesto. Okay. So Ernesto is a comedian. And we here. I'm glad we're doing this, man.
We're out here, yeah.
Because you were the first person I met at the CPU podcast studio open mic, and we both had a pee.
I remember
that. We were looking for the bathroom.
I remember that, yeah.
And then we were like, I think we could pee in this bush, and we were like peeing not on the same bush, but like in the vicinity, like we're parallel to each other. It was like,
that's who I am as a person, by the way. Like we showed up and it was early, and I was like, I don't know, it's closed, but I gotta go pee.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you were like, I gotta pee too, and I was like, I think we can go in these bushes. You know what I mean? Like, just follow me, stranger, into these bushes where I'm gonna be, just peeing. It's so crazy. It's crazy to think that I did that, but you're a very nice person, and you were a comic, so that's the way we roll. You know?
Do you know how new I was when that happened?
How
I was like in my first maybe month or two.
Really?
I was new as fuck. I was new as fuck, and then like I was always intimidated by everybody, because they're always mean. Because I didn't know how it was, right?
Yeah.
And then you were like really nice. So like, let's pee together. I was like, I like this guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Like me, you were saying other comics were mean?
Yeah. Not you.
No, but other comics were mean at you?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. It was weird. I didn't, but now that I'm in it, now that it's been like a year and a month.
Yeah.
Like, I can see why. It wasn't me. It's just them, and they're fucking fucked up shit. Like,
I think it's like we're all we're all weirdos and nerds, and we were never cool or whatever. And all of a sudden, you do stand up, and people start noticing you, and you kind of like once you're in it for a little bit, like you feel like the shit. And then there's this new guy that just comes in, and they're just like, "No, you can't be part of this. We're the cool ones now." You know what I mean? It's like, relax. We're all the same guy. We're all doing the same mics.
Yeah.
We're at the same spot. So it's crazy though. They are mean. Comics can be so mean.
Dude, fuck yeah, man. Fuck yeah. And you know what? Like, I'm gonna be honest, man. I get kind of like that too when it comes to I support my Asian people, but there's still that like
here we go.
part of me, that inferior part of me that's like, this guy's like funnier than me. Like, and he looks like me.
Oh, do you feel like you have to be the alpha Asian, the double A?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
shit.
I don't think about it, but I know it's there. It's this fucking thing where it's like, because you work so hard to get rid of because I was taught to be like a pussy, so I had to like learn to not be a pussy, and it was a painful process. And now he's a confident Asian guy. I'm like, yeah, I am, And then all of a sudden this other guy comes in and he's just as confident, if not more confident.
Yeah.
And I get territorial. I'm like, what are you doing here, man?
You want to pee on them and like
I'm like, what are you doing at this bar that I don't own?
Oh, yeah. I've been here twice.
Like, I'll see him from like across the room, and he's got like 3 girls around him, and they're all laughing at the dumb shit he's saying, and then I'm like, I'm the one that's supposed to be getting laughed.
So do you like other Asian comics? Do you feel like when you're on a show with them, you're just like, I gotta be for sure the funnier Asian too?
It's kind of like that, but at the same time, I support them because I'm like, fuck, we need more of us. But this like dark side of me wants to just like pull them down, but I don't actively do it, you know, because like the crab mentality.
Yeah.
So like I have to constantly tell myself, hey man, support the guy, like support them, and then we end up being friends. And I'm like, okay, I like you. You're really cool.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm gonna like them. That's the worst part. I know I'm gonna like the fucker
because you
but, like,
clearly have something in common, you know.
Yeah. But also like, you know, when you look the same and you grew up the same way. You're gonna get along most of the time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And there's just that initial like, fuck you, dude. Yeah. I remember I knew this guy and he laughs all the time because I'm always like, we've been doing stand up for like around the same time. I think I was like a few months ahead of him. So when he started, like I was like, dude, fuck this guy. I'm the new guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I hated him for no reason. And then like we're super cool now. And sometimes I'll be like, oh dude, I used to hate you so much for nothing. You know what I mean? You didn't do. I just seen his face and I was like, look at this fucking guy. You know? I didn't think I'm sure people thought that of me. And sometimes I think of that of people like newer comics when they come in and you're just like, they're probably going to do it once or twice, be here for like a couple months and then they're out, you know, because that happens so many times. It's always nice to see the people that stick around, you know, like you. Like it's crazy to think that I met you when you were that like new in, you know, because you've ran some pretty dope ass shows since then, you know.
Luckily, fortunately, somehow, I don't know. Yeah.
I feel like you're very I feel like you're just one of those guys that's like successful at stuff. You just know what you're doing. You started like you started like just YouTubing how to do shit. You know what I mean? I'm just like I just didn't know how to do that now.
I don't know. It's that like obsessive part of me where I have to make sure because I'm kind of a control freak and I need to make sure. Hence the reason why I'm a one man team for this.
Yeah,
I edit everything. I shoot it. I you know all this stuff, and that's why I need to make sure like I can control almost every variable. So before I bought this fucking equipment, I was like, what do I need to know that could go wrong and prepare? So it's like kind of like a Batman type thing. But more of like a neurotic.
Yeah, dude, you were running around and I'm just like, you're like, I gotta get this done. And I'm like sitting like, dude, you're the boss. Nobody's gonna be mad at you. But I get it. That's the reason. That's like kind of like stand up. Nobody's telling you to do stand up. And like when you have like a week of not doing stand up or a few days of not doing stand up, like for me, like I feel like a panic starts to set in. Like I need to go do some fucking spots right now. You know, I feel like nobody's pushing you to do it. It's just one of those things where you just do it. And I think that's good. That'll get you far in whatever you're doing. You see, that's why you're like successful and shit.
Dude, but you dude, man, you fucking grind it out. Like I've told you when I see you keep going out, it makes me feel horrible about myself because like I took like a 2-week break because I actually after the year of going like hard because I was actually using anger as fuel because I'm not gonna say his name, but this guy said he wanted to like hang out at me and then like we didn't. This is like when I first started, and I was like, oh, it's gonna be my first friend, and he was like, dude, you're good. Like you've only done it like for like a month, wow. And I was like, oh shit. And this guy knows a lot of people, so I thought he would help me out, and I don't know what way, but I expected because I was so new, right? I don't expect things now. And then he would like blow me off like for 3 times in a row when he's the one that hit me up, right? So then I was like, fuck you. I'm going to show you what the fuck is up. I'm going to show you what is up. And I used that as jet fuel, and I finally burnt out, and I hated everything. I hated stand-up. I hated my life. And I was like, what am I doing? This was the thing I wanted. And then I took like a 2-week break off where I did maybe like one mic a week, and then I now enjoy it again, and I'm good. You get that?
Crazy.
You get that?
Yeah, you did. You made people laugh out of spite to spite some other guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally.
That's probably why. And then for after that, you were just like, fuck this, fuck everything, because you just weren't doing it for fun, or you weren't doing it for the right reasons. You were just being spiteful. You know, that's probably why that happened.
No, for sure. You're right. I had a journal about it.
Oh, yeah?
I write about it.
Do you go back now and then you fucking read it and you're just like, is it cringy? Do you go back and you cringe at some of this stuff?
See, here's the thing. I should probably keep them, but what I do is I do this thing where like I write in the journal, like on a piece of paper, like a single leaf paper, and I time myself for 10 minutes, but I know it's just only going to take the front and back of it. And then I'll finish writing like I did this morning, and I'll crumple it up and just throw it in the trash. Wow. And say that was the past.
Wow.
But here's the thing. it's not much of the past if it's still bothering me and it's an issue. So I should probably keep them to look back on it, right? Do you do that type of stuff, or like what do you do to like when you feel, you know?
Oh, I'm like a crazy person, dude. There's so many notebooks just laying around, small, like different size notebooks, and just like papers and napkins and everything. Just like, I swear, just everything that I write on like throughout the day. And then some of it is just me repeating stuff, you know, but just adding a little something or like taking something out. And a lot of it is just like, it's not cohesive. Like I'll think I'm onto something and then I'll go back and I'm like, what the fuck was I talking about? Because sometimes you just, you know, you write like the subject matter of like, oh, that's a funny thing. Let me get back to this. And so there's a bunch of that as well. And then I also do that, just like, I just start writing, you know, just without an intent of like coming up with jokes, you know, nothing like that. Sometimes I'll just start writing. And all that just mixes in, but none of it is organized, you know? And so it just looks crazy, you know? But I do write. I write a lot. Besides jokes, just dumb shit. No journals, though. No specific journal. Just everywhere.
Just like a thought.
Yeah. Just like a thought or like about my day sometimes. But it's not in one place. So it'll be like a notebook, like 4 or 5 pages. It'll be jokes, and then it'll just be some random like personal shit or just a thought about something, and then it'll just be more jokes. And then going back and reading them is weird sometimes, just because it's like, oh, if you're a different headspace at that time or something. That's why I was like, oh, sometimes I'll read back shit and it's so cringy, you know? It's weird.
But at that moment, you feel like this is genius.
Yeah,
right?
Even that, or like, it's like, yeah, this is totally how I feel about this right now. And then you go back and you're like, what the fuck was I talking about? This makes no sense. I'm stupid, you know? Like just, but sometimes you'll get shit out of that, you know? Just out of writing. The hard part is going back and reading through it and then siphoning what you need.
Yeah. Because like, I feel like when I just write it, it makes sense at the time because like I'm there in the moment, but because I can't remember exactly like how I would say it or what my emotional, like the vein I was in at that time. So like when I record it, then it helps. But then sometimes when I record it too, it just sounds like psycho shit.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Because I'm all hyped up and I'm driving and I'm like, yeah, you know, so you're gonna get that happen here and I listen. I'm like, what the fuck?
Exactly.
What is this? Because I was like, I'm gonna transcribe it later. I can't.
It's so bad. It's like embarrassing. You like going back and because you have like record your sets, you know, to see what you're doing on stage. And when you have to go back and like see when you killed, it's all fun and games, you know. But then when you go back and you see one where you bombed, it's like, oh, why do I keep doing this? Why do I even keep doing stand up if I just did that tonight? You know, it's so bad sometimes.
So you were telling me before we recorded that you bombed super hard. You did great on one show and then you bombed right after, right?
Yeah, I did a show in Huntington Beach at that one spot, you know, and it was great, you know, it was awesome. It was like, it was under 10 minutes, you know, so it was just all the bangers. So it was great, and I was feeling awesome, you know, just crushed it. And then I went to a mic right after like 13 minutes away, and then I bombed really hard. So that's like... It's just stand up. It's humbling, you know? It's really humbling. You'll just be crushing it one day at like a club or something, and then the next day nobody, you know, you're competing with a football game on TV for 2 people in a bar.
Oh, yeah. So what, like, sometimes when I see that, I'm like, why the fuck am I doing this? But then the other side of me is like, this is part of the journey. Like, you got to do it to prove some shit to yourself. Like, it doesn't matter where, right? What do you say in your head in those moments where it's a football game at a bar and there's only 2 people there, maybe watching, but right?
It's I think it's just I know like for a fact that if I can get some reaction out of this, like if I can make them laugh when they're not wanting to laugh at a horrible bar show, then a club where people are there to see me and laugh, like it'll be the easiest thing ever. And I mean, that's how it works. You know?
Yeah.
You have to like train. It's like a hyperbolic time chamber in Dragon Ball Z. I
love that you said that, man.
That's what it's like. And then you just go in there and do a bunch of bar shows and you come out and you're just like, oh, all these clubs are easy as fuck. If there's people and they're staring right at you, you're like, oh, this will land, you know? That's how it feels. I don't know if that's correct. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing it and something's happening, you know?
I think that's good too because, you know, Jeff Garland, he was on Daddy Daycare, that like Eddie Murphy's little chubby friend. I listened to a podcast with him yesterday, and he said he doesn't want to know why he's funny. Because one time he had to explain it on a podcast, like, you know, breaking apart what he does to make it funny. Because he never had to think about it. And he said for 2 to 3 weeks, he wasn't funny.
Yeah.
He was in his head.
Yeah.
Like sometimes, like, it's like building up this instinct to where, like, it's like you know what it is, but you don't really want to know.
Well, it's this thing like, there's sometimes I'll say things just in conversation it's just hilarious. And me, even with my comic brain, me watching as much stand up as I do, like, it's still like, oh, dude, that's funny. I haven't even heard that anywhere else. I'm going to take that and I'm going to write it down, and I'll write it down exactly how it happened. And then I'll go back and just knowing how to do stand up, you know, I'll try to, what's the setup? What's the punchline? How do I tag it? And it'll completely ruin it, you know? It just completely, it's like a whole different thing now. And it's like, oh, this is gross. And you kind of have to try to just get it as close to as it was when it was just natural, you know?
Yeah. Where you don't overthink it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when you see a girl and then you're like, oh, she's cute. Like, I want to talk to her. And then like all the other times you talk to girls, you would just look over, hey, like,
yeah,
hi, and you have this bomb ass conversation. But in this moment, you're like, okay, hold on. Okay, okay, what kind of shoes she's wearing? Okay, maybe talk about her shoes. Maybe no, it's gonna be a little weird if you talk about her shoes. Maybe she can think like you got a foot fetish. You should talk about like, just be like, oh, like you like your backpack. Tell you like your backpack, and you go up and you're like, hey, you got stuff in your backpack, right? You say something really like
just the worst fucking thing. Yeah, because like if a girl's your friend, you're just the chillest. You know, the best you. You're just funny. You're interesting, you know, you're listening. And then if it's a girl, yeah. If it's a girl that you fucking, that you like are attracted or want to get with, it's the worst, man. You're trying. Yeah, you just have to not try at everything, I think. And it's just, you just do it.
You know, as soon as you said that, I just saw your face on a billboard and it just says, you don't have to try.
Oh, that's dude,
because like your like vibe is very much like that in terms of like just laid back, and even when you talk, it's just like it kind of feels like the words are coming out, but you're like right behind the words.
Oh yeah, you know what I mean? I should think more. I know exactly what you're talking about. I would just hear myself saying shit sometimes, and it's like, what am I doing? But sometimes I'll say some good shit. You know what I mean?
No, I like that you talk like that. Like, yeah, I mean, in a great way. It's just like chill, relax, like confident.
It's well, like the whole don't try thing. That's like Bukowski, you know, on his fucking tombstone.
You do post Charles Bukowski?
Yeah, stuff all the time. Yeah, he says it's on his like fucking tombstone. It says don't try. It's just like you don't try. He never tried to be a writer. He just started writing, and then he became a writer. And he never tried to write what he thinks he should write about, or he never tried to make it what he thought it should be. He was just writing, and then it just was what it was, you know? I think that's the same thing with stand-up. Like one of my biggest pet peeves as a comic is when somebody's like, oh, you're like you're like fucking Attell, or you're like Jesselnick, or you're like Daniel Tosh or something like that, just because you have a dark joke or something like that, or comics that say like, oh, I kind of want to be like a little bit of Jesselnick with a little bit of Dali. It's like, you're already fucking up, because, you know, like it's just the voice that it's already there. You just have to find it, you know? So just stop trying to be a person and just be yourself, and just be the thing that you already are, and lean into what you like. And then you just become, you're there. You just, you know, you just let everybody else see it, and it's kind of like figuring out who you are. Stand up, I think. Like the longer you do stand up, I think the more personal your act becomes. I think that's the goal. I don't know, but just stop trying to be stuff and just be the thing, you know?
Yeah, just be you. I feel like you just gave a master class on finding your voice in comedy, and I like that you said that too, because before I was like, oh, who do I like? Let me be a little bit like them.
Yeah.
Right? Because, and the reason why I thought that was because people would say, oh, you're like Joe Coy. Or you remind me a little bit of Bobby Lee. And then I start thinking, maybe I should be more like them, right? And then I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not. We all have little elements that may be similar and remind people of that, but we are not them.
Sometimes it'll be as far as just being the same ethnicity. One time this guy was like, "Oh, you remind me of Felipe Esparza," and it's like, not at all,
Dude, you guys aren't the same at all.
Yeah,
what
I
the
was like,
fuck?
we have a different act. I talk about being Mexican like in one joke, and I hardly do it. I never talk about stuff like that. So it's just I'm not Mexican. I'm Mexican, but I'm not a Mexican person. You know what I mean? I'm like Mexican ethnically, but it's not like I'm just a fucking regular person. Like I like whatever I like. I'm not like you're not just some Asian guy. You know what I mean?
Thank you. Because to other people, I am just that Asian guy. Literally,
Yeah.
like, all right, hey, that Asian guy right there. Who's he? I'm like, my name's Michael. He's like, okay, all right. And it's just like, okay. No, but it's funny because lately when I started talking about a lot of like my childhood stuff, like Asian stuff. But then I kind of hated myself because I was like, I feel like everybody's doing it now. It's still my truth, and I think it's good material. But I feel like if I bank on that, it's gonna stump me as a comedian because people are more likely to laugh at family stuff mixed in with the accent. And I didn't want that to be like just the punch.
And then at some level, that's a template. You know what I mean? Like, oh, growing up blank is tough because my parents used to do blank. And if you're blank, you know what I'm talking about. Like, that's basically like, that could be, you can just fucking, it's an app. It's like a fucking, you just make shit. You can just throw words in there and it'll work, whatever ethnicity. It's just more about like how you think, your perspective on it, Like, sure, like maybe, like, let's say Asian parents are tough. Yeah, you could talk about how they're tough, but then talk about how that made you turn out, kind of something like that. I don't know. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Getting like more personal than just
get
the good job, dude. I get okay. Again, I love my Asian people, but you guys need to stop fucking doing these jokes where you go up on stage and you be like, do your homework. It's like, yo, because now you're just trying to like appeal to the masses that are into stereotypes.
Pandering.
Because I hate it. Yeah, pandering. Like, they're banking on the accent and the oh, do your home. Oh, it's true. They do that. Like, yeah. I don't know why I made him feel like a redneck, but like, it makes me angry. And I'm like, you could do so much better than this, but I can't help but to fume. And then it makes me get mad at myself because I'm like, why am I hating on these people? Because they're figuring it out. But then again, if I see them do that for like 6 months, then I really don't like them because I feel like they sold out.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because I generally hate sometimes people for no reason. You know what I mean? I'll literally be sitting there like in a fucking just in the red line. Somebody walks by my car. I'm like, why'd you have to bring your face into my life, dude? Now I know you exist. Like, I just, but also just stand up gives me a whole different perspective where it's just like none of us know what the fuck we're doing, and we're literally doing what in our brain we think stand-up is, Yeah. And some people just have a different style and a different, sometimes people will be hacky and you don't even know why they're doing it. And then maybe in their head, they're just like, yeah, if I'm extra hacky, that's like original, like it's almost, I don't know what anybody's doing with their art form. I don't know what they're going for. Which is weird. If they get laughs, it's like, fine, you get laughs, but you can just, the only thing is just like, let's see what happens in the long run for everybody. I think that's the cool thing about where we're at right now. It's just like, all right, cool, dude. Like, I don't get what you're doing, but then maybe in 10 years, like they're fucking crushing it, and you're like, I still don't get it, but you're crushing it.
Yeah. Because you can respect that, right?
Yeah, that's the thing is, as a stand-up is like, yeah, I get you're still going up there and I still see you at fucking 6 mics a week or whatever the fuck you're doing, or so like I can't say you're not a stand-up, but it's just not my vibe. Some people are generally not my cup of tea, but they're out there, doing the stuff.
Okay, so you've been doing it how long now?
Like 3 years.
Okay, 3 years. So you've seen a lot of people come and go.
I think so.
A good amount of people, right? Now, when you saw me, did you think I would go? You could be very honest.
Well, let's be real. We were in Koreatown.
Yeah, CPU podcast studio.
Yeah, you were Asian.
I was Asian.
I was.
Well,
like,
I'm still Asian. I was Asian. No, I'm yeah.
I was like, he probably lives around here. He's probably gonna come here all the time.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. No.
That's fucking funny.
No, I wasn't sure. I mean, I saw you perform and you had a lot of energy and you seemed like you had a lot to talk about. So I was like, all right, maybe I'll see him at other places. And then I didn't see you around other than there, I think, a couple times. And then I started seeing you like places like Orange County or LA. And it's like, oh, sweet, you know? And then that's kind of like, okay, he's doing stuff outside of the one spot he knows. That's like a comic thing to do because some people just stay there forever. They'll just find like 3 or 4 mics they started out with and they just do that forever. So that was a good sign. And I don't know if I necessarily thought much about like whether or not you were gonna do it. But I'm stoked that you've been doing it for this long. How long have you been doing it now?
A year and this is a year and a second month now.
Damn, hell yeah.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the year?
I feel I feel like I accomplished more than I sought to because I brought it up before, but I just didn't want to be nervous at all. That's all I cared about for the first year, just not get nervous anymore. I also get like anxious and like excited, but I just didn't want to like be like, you know?
Yeah.
So with that being gone and then, you know, getting some shows and stuff, like it's pretty cool. And I thought about it too recently, just looking back on the progression, and it's really amazing to see. And I'm not even talking about like on paper stuff, but I'm talking about like how I feel, like the way I carry myself up there, like the way I think about my jokes now. Like before I'd write jokes and be like, everybody's gonna hate this, or I'm like, should I say this? Like, is it gonna hurt people's feelings? I don't really think like that anymore. Of course I pick and choose.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna just talk about like some really jacked up shit that's not right, I guess, you know, whatever that means, but that's subjective obviously. But now I'm more braver with my shit because I was like, if I say a white person in the story, if I say a white person, do I look racist? Like I would think that because when I was starting, it was all that PC culture shit. So I got because in real life I don't give a fuck. I'm very confident, but on stage it was like I felt like a baby, like a little baby trying to
that's
figure it out.
interesting. It's almost like reverse for some people, and some people very unconfident off stage, but on stage it's just like I'm the shit, you know. I feel like that's how I am. Every other thing I'm unsure of, I'm like, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing, I don't know how to do this is weird. On stage it's like I feel like I got this right now. Do you feel like it made you more confident off stage as well, or do you think that like it didn't affect? How did doing stand-up affect you as a person outside of stand-up?
Damn. It's a deep question, which I'm going to return back to you. But since you asked me, my confidence level is like beyond the fucking
through the roof.
Like, because I know myself even more now. Because I've always been opinionated and tell people like what I think, and just kind of like be like, this is me. I don't know how to be anything else but me. But as I'm like, it's like rediscovering myself.
That's self-awareness, bro.
Yeah. But like, in a way that would never have happened if I didn't do stand-up. So now I walk around, and sometimes when like I do this thing where I see like a really buff guy and I get like threatened by him because I'm like, okay, you look better than me. And my girlfriend's next to me, and I'll just be like, well, you know what? Bet you can't do stand-up like I can. I think that in my head.
Yeah.
I'm like, but you can't give your opinions and make people laugh, motherfucker.
I always say that. Like dude, man. The other time I was laughing about this with my friend. Because I was like, this girl, she like was dating like this guy that had like a master's and everything. And like he's just crushing it, you know? He's just this dude crushing it in life. And I was just a little bit funny, and she was also interested in me. And it was like, yeah, that guy's got a master's, but is he funny? You know what I mean?
Yeah. All the time, right?
How funny is he? Because I'll crush him at a roast battle right now. No,
Or a conversation.
Yeah.
On a date with the girl.
Yeah, but that's crazy. It made you confident. What did you said it made you a little bit more self-aware about yourself. Like, what did you rediscover about yourself doing stand-up?
That I don't really know myself as I thought I did. And that sometimes the confidence that I had was, I don't want to say false confidence, but I was kind of sometimes pulling from places that wasn't the most healthiest. You know what I mean? Like maybe I'd be like, oh, like my arms are bigger than that guy. So right now I'm gonna voice my opinion. But if it's somebody else who's bigger than mine, I'll like kind of pull back a bit and be like,
wow, this is very primal shit.
Yeah, very fucking primal, like inferiority complex type shit. So you were talking about how humbling stand-up is, and it was like getting my ass kicked in real life.
Yeah.
It's to where I'm just like, okay, now I'm in a place where, you know, I still, you know, you get proud of being a stand-up, right?
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say, getting your ass kicked physically or just like...
Well, actually, I got both. Like, I thought I was a badass, and then I got jumped in high school. Like, 4 dudes that were like older heads, like tricked me and then jumped me. They started kicking me. One of them had like a fucked up ankle, so he was on crutches and jumped and like stomping me. Right? He was on crutches, stomping my ass.
Why would he not just hit you with the crutch?
He did. He was like jabbing me in my ribs with it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that.
Well, you gotta
that
respect that guy. You know what I mean? You gotta respect that guy.
Dude, I'm
on that guy's side right now.
No. I'm glad it happened, because if they didn't do that, maybe I would have fucked with the wrong dude and got stabbed or like shot.
What did you do? Were you in a gang?
This is a super Asian thing, okay? But like, I guess one of them found out that I was like talking smack about one of them, because I was like 16, the guy was like 21. He was like a big ass Korean dude, and it was like a stranger on a Warcraft chat.
Oh shit!
And I thought it was a stranger, but it wasn't. I found out it was like him, and he was like, "Oh, so who's this Albert guy?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know," like that. He's like, "Oh, what do you think of him?" I think he's all right, and blah blah. And somehow it came out that I was like, I suspected that he might be a homosexual.
Oh.
So he took offense to that, I guess, and then like took that as me talking shit, and then he tricked me, and then I got jumped. I got my ass fucked up. You know,
holy shit!
It's pretty funny, right?
It's not funny. I was trying to be funny earlier. That's fucked up. But it's funny that the guy beat you up with crutches.
That's hilarious.
That's the funny part. Everything else is like, that's probably could have been a better way to handle that.
For sure.
But you learn from it, and you're not in a gang anymore.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't even in a gang, but after that, that's when like I was hanging around with some people that were like gangbang and shit. And then I'm
protection.
I'm from the suburbs. I don't know, man. It was like a thing where you know, back to the inferiority complex thing. Like I felt like I had to be like more of a man or look like, oh, I'm this Asian guy. People think I'm a pussy. Well, I'll show them what the fuck is up. So I would kick it with dudes that would like rob or like steal, or like I would do a lot of drugs, and like they would be drug dealers, and I'd be like going to places I never thought. Like I'd be in Inglewood at a black barbershop in the hood. And I'm just like, what the fuck am I doing here? But I'm scared. And they're like, what's up, Jackie Chan? And I'm like, what the fuck? Why are they calling me that?
You gotta be cool. You're gonna be like, oh.
Yeah, because I was 18 at the time, man. But like, anyway, so like for you though, so you 3 years in, how do you feel from when you started to now?
Fucking great, dude. Yeah, like I said, I'm like uncomfortable all the time for no reason. I don't know what it is. I'm very anxious. I have anxiety up the ass, and I just like, I'm a fucking weirdo, dude. And I was kind of a loner, and I didn't really go anywhere, you know. I just like literally worked all the time, and then just went home, and then that was it. You know, that's basically a regular ass life. And then but it was the worst. And then after I started doing stand up, I started like going places to do stand up, like even if just for like an hour a day, just driving to a different place. And then that became like, I'll go to a spot and then explore places a little bit. And then now I'm just all over the place. Well, that's one of the things I like about stand-up, is that I fucking go all over the place to do stand-up, you know, all over SoCal, just doing spots like bars and like clubs or whatever it is, you know. But it's cool because like makes you feel cool, like wherever you go, like to hang out with someone, you're like, yeah, I know this bar over here, I performed here, you know what I mean? Oh, that's a place I've performed there too. Or sometimes people will like take you to a place and you're like, oh, I've been here, I've performed here, what, you know? That's cool. I'm definitely a lot more confident, you know, because it's just like, it's almost like remember that first time you had sex, and then like you're just like, I had sex now, you know what I mean? I'm fucking cool. Like it's a whole nother level of just like you're just like, yeah, I bet that guy's that guy's cool and shit, but has he fucked? You know what I mean? That's kind of how you felt, you know? That's kind of how it is with stand-up, like how you were saying. Yeah, it's like, yeah, it could be anything, but it's like, yeah, but at least I can fucking crush it at a place, you know what I mean? And then that's cool. I I like that a lot. I like that like it just makes you more confident because you bomb on stage so much, especially in the beginning. Like the first year, what the fuck was I doing? I don't even remember what I was talking about. Like but I bombed a lot, like crazy a lot. And I remember one time like somebody recorded with like a sick ass camera and fucking like and all this shit.
No.
And it was like, well, now that's out there. And
In high quality.
yeah, exactly.
4K.
I was so nervous and I was shaking and sweaty. And it's just like, that was one of those things where it's like, well, it's not going to get worse than that, Because there were so many times like in the beginning where like you would just like stay up writing a whole bunch of shit. Like, yeah, this is going to get them. And then you go and you just don't know how to perform. Even if it's funny shit, you just don't know how to perform. So you just bombed your fucking dick off. And then I would go to the bathroom and feel like crying. You know what I mean? It was just the worst. But then now it's a whole different thing, And it's just, I think it's made me more aware too, because I kind of try to pay attention to like what we're doing as a whole. Social commentating, I guess is what we do. So trying to be aware of like not just what's happening, but try to get both sides of the story because you want to generally if you make a joke about it, you want to get both sides of the story just to offend everyone equally.
Yeah.
So it's made me more aware that way and just of perspectives like just like I'm poor as fuck now, so that's a whole different perspective. Like work, I used to just be all about work and like getting money. And then now it's just like, yeah, dude, fuck that. Like I'm fucking, I have the limited time to try to be the shit at stand up, and it's only dwindling away, dude. Like we all have 24 hours a day, and then it's like what you do with those 24 hours is what sets you apart from anybody else. We're all the same. That's where like we're at the same spots, we're all doing the same rooms. It's just like how you do it, within those 24 hours that puts you ahead of the game or behind, I think. So that's one of the things, some perspective like that, where it's just like, damn, I gotta do this. Fuck work. I'll just be poor for right now. And if it pans out, then I'll fucking cash in. And if it doesn't, then I got to get a job. And I'm in the same fucking place that I was when I left, That's a thing. And I'm generally, I think, happier now that I do stand up. Why? I think that's one of the reasons. Just like you go to work and then like for what? For like money, and you think you're like, I'm gonna get like all this money, and I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna be able to do shit, and then you're working so much that you never get to go out and do anything. You just have the money, You just have the money, and then all the time like you're spending 8-9 hours a day like working to build somebody else's dream, and it's like I'm not even getting anything out of it. I'm just like buying this fucking fat dude in the office I'm buying him Dr. Scholl's for his fucking feet and his
flat foot.
Yeah. And his fucking varicose veins, so he can buy fucking braces for his kid who's got perfect teeth, but he's still ugly.
Yeah.
Like that's like all I'm doing at a place. So I'd rather just take a chance and see if anything comes of it, And it's also that thing where it's like you just do as much of it, it just becomes like your life. And that's a way better life than I think than just working. So that's one of the reasons why I'm happier. And then the same thing. I think I know myself a lot better now. So even if I have like issues with myself, it's like I want to fix that. I want to do that. At least now I'm aware of them, and I could start doing something about it. I could start, just changing yourself, try to be better. Because that's like one of the things about stand-up, it's just like you have to recognize when like a joke's not working or something you act's not working, and then you change it. And I think that's like, that gave me a perspective to kind of do that with myself as well, where it's just like, oh, like, I don't like this about myself. Let me go try to do that, But you have to be aware of it first. And stand-up made me very aware. Because I try to think about, I'm very introspective with stand-up and try to talk about myself and shit, so... Yeah. I don't know. I think I'm just generally happier doing stand-up. What's not to like? I get to make people laugh. And that's good, you know. You make people laugh, they'll fucking love you, you know.
Yeah.
Even if it's just for that night, they're gonna be like, hell yeah, dude, you were the shit, and then that feels great, you know. So, I mean, aren't you a lot happier since you started stand up?
Yeah, this is the happiest I've been in my whole life. I was always confused and always had like a level of depression and anxiety up to the age of 29 because I'm 30 now. And then when I discovered this,
You're 30, dude.
yeah, why?
Dude, I don't know. I just feel like you're not 30. You know what I mean? Somebody lied and they were like, "You're 25." I was like,
Dude, I'll take that, man.
I
I'll
could see
take
it,
that.
you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. Wait, did you think I was 25 because of why?
I don't know. I just thought you were like, I'm 27. I just thought you were closer at my age than 30 something.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Your just general demeanor. You're fun. You know. You're
Oh,
not
like I didn't give up on life type shit.
yeah. You're not
Yeah.
a fucking bummer. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, it goes one or the other way. Like you hit 30 and you're like, I'm just gonna give up on everything that I enjoy.
Yeah.
Or fuck it, I'm gonna pursue what I want. So yeah, I'm the happiest I've ever
Get it,
fucking
dude.
been, and
Hell
I talk
yeah.
about it all the time. And I got rid of like 90% of that resting anxiety and depression. Because also like we don't need to get too into it, but like I also healed my childhood trauma because I didn't realize it was still an issue, and that combined with doing things I really want to do, because like it's like you said, man, like you question your existence when you keep working at a place that you hate, building up somebody else's dream, even if it's and a lot of times it's not even their dream, it's just to make them fucking money.
Yeah.
And they're miserable too, but they want the money, so they
yeah.
want to use you and everybody else around them to like just, it's just toxic fucking poison. And you know, sometimes people say that stand-ups are like miserable people, but it's like, and oh, you don't make money, blah, 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 bro. But it's like, dude, stand-ups are some of the most woke people out there, right? And nobody knows it. Even the ones that aren't like a Felipe, Esparza, Joe Coy, whatever, even if they're not known like that, like they're some of the most highly aware, socially aware, and empathetic people out there. Even if they're making jokes that could rub people the wrong way, that doesn't mean that they are a person who is not caring, right?
It like Colin Quinn he said something along the lines of where being a comic means that you judge all the hypocrisies, you know, in the world, but then you realize that you're fucking part of the problem, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's what stand-ups do. So yeah, I agree with you, you know? I feel like we're woke. Even the people that that's the worst. I feel like we're woke. I just said that.
I hate that I had to use that word.
Yeah.
Because it's so fucking whack.
Yeah.
But I just couldn't think of another word.
Yeah, but I think we're more aware.
That's
you know?
better. Yeah, that
We're
sounds
more
less
aware.
douchey than what I said. Yeah, we're woke as fuck, man.
Even the people that are like, they don't go about it the right way, you know, even some of the comics that are tough to deal with, I think are more aware, and we all could just, you know, we all just share from our perspective, and that's it, you know. So that's why some people just seem crazy, you know, because they're just crazy, but they're like, something's going on here. I'm trying to tell you what it is, but there's no sense up here, so it comes out like it doesn't make any sense out here, you know.
It's like a baby that can't speak yet, and you're like, it's like, what do you want food? Do you want to go to the Disneyland? You know, it's like,
Yeah.
they get frustrated. It's like, I'm trying to tell you something.
Yeah, frustration. That's what you see in a lot of comics as well.
How often do you get frustrated?
Dude, all the time. I'm like, I'm constantly frustrated and anxious and just on the brick, bro. I'm on the cusp all the time. But I don't know. Something about that keeps me motivated to just keep doing like stand up and just doing shit that I like and doing shit that I think is gonna get me what I want out of life. Like stand up, you know, like stand up, trying to be better than what I am, than what I was. And just, I mean, that's always like the thing. That's the constant thing, I think, just for me. It's just trying to be better, stand up, and trying to be like a better person, you know? And I'm not always good at both.
Yeah, it's like, at least for me, when I was focusing so hard on stand up, I forgot how to be a normal human. So I lost empathy towards others for quite a long time, and I didn't realize.
In what way?
In a way of where I wouldn't feel sorry for them, or I wouldn't feel like what they're going through is relevant if they're feeling pain.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I'd be like, well, to figure your shit out, then do something, take some action. But then I forget. It took me 29 fucking years to even begin to realize what I really wanted. Right?
That's the crazy thing, man. Like because I'm 27. I just turned 27 like a week ago. And
happy birthday to you.
I think so. Online, maybe.
I think okay. Well, if I didn't, happy
you.
belated birthday. I always forget when I tell people.
But yeah, like I'm 27 and I always feel like I'm behind. Like, oh, other people have it together. But it's like the more I meet people, we're all just so fucked. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the best way to put it. Yeah,
we're all just so fucked. We all just have a different thing, and we're just keeping it together. We're like visually or like from a distance, it looks like seemingly they have everything together. But once you dig a little bit, we're all fucked, dude. That's the only reason we try to keep it together or seem like we keep it together is because we think everybody else has their shit together, you know? That's the thing. If we all just realize that we're all just fucked, and then I think there'd be a lot more empathy. You know, we would all like when I see like I smoke weed and I drink alcohol, sometimes more than I should. And every once in a while, you know, I'll just do whatever. And then like mushrooms and acid and shit. But sometimes I like going out and doing spots in LA. Like I'll see like tweakers, you know, or like just people just super drugged out, like on meth or crack or whatever the fuck they're doing. And like part of me is like, damn, like get the fuck out of here, dude. You know what I mean? Like stop asking me for money, get the fuck away from me. And then part of me is just like, that's just me under different circumstances. I've done drugs, you know what I mean? I'm high right now. I just smoked a blunt when he came out and asked me for money, you know? So yeah, man, because I feel like we should all see that. Like we should all try to just think of that, where it's just like, that's just me under different circumstances, and we don't always see it that way, you know. I know I don't. Sometimes I'm still like, get the fuck away, dude. I just gave to the last guy, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, we should all be more empathetic and try to think. That's perspective again.
It is. Yeah. No, for sure. Because like a lot of people that are constantly mean to everybody around them, they're just protecting their own fear.
Yeah.
And they don't. They don't want to admit that exists. So they lean more into anger or aggression or just like the negative forces to try to protect themselves. Right.
It's funny that sometimes I'll do that to people with like other comics. They'll come up and I've never met them. I'm like, what are you gonna just walk up to me with those fucking shoes? You know?
Oh yeah.
Don't wear those shoes at me, dude. Why do you have that hat? Just like, and it's just like, oh, I don't know them. I feel like they're gonna do it to me, so I just fucking get ahead of them and I just start roasting them. But I mean, that's actually how I meet a lot of people. That's just the way I interact sometimes. But yeah.
Like a little preemptive strike.
Yeah, just like you're just like, oh, I feel like he's gonna say something about my hat, so let me get on his hat before he says.
You know what it's like?
mine.
It's like breaking up with a girl before she breaks up with you. It just feels better.
Yeah,
because even though you're both broken up,
you still
did it first.
Yeah, you took the dub.
Because it always feels worse when you get dumped first, man. Like even if you were planning to dump her and she dumped you first, it fucks you up.
Yeah, that's crazy. Just the fascination that we're just with not taking the L. Because if you think about it, like the relationship's over, you both took an L, but there still wants to be one of you, and that's like, I did it to him instead of this happened to us. It's I did it to him. You know,
he's more sad than me.
Yeah, or I did it to her. That's crazy. That even like this is all primal shit. I think I don't know what any of this is, but
it is, man. That
we all do
shit,
it,
man. It will never go away because at the end of the day, no matter how much we advance as like a society with technology and whatever these foods and all this nonsense, we're still animals. At the end of the day, we still just want to like fight. Even if we don't fight, at the core of it, dude, we want to fight. If you and I like we don't. I mean, I don't fight, but like if I was like a Brock Lesnar and somebody like bumped into me, I'm gonna be like, what the fuck are you doing? Or just look at them like, yeah. But I'm not. So if somebody bumps into me, I'm just like, I have to tell myself, Just let it go. It's fine.
See,
They didn't know what they were doing.
See, that's why you have to work your way up, like from being like nothing at a stand up, struggling for years, and then getting everything eventually, maybe. Because we couldn't handle it. It'd be like that. Like, you know, like you're just like, dude, if I was buff, I'd just be out of control. That's how it is. You just, every step of the way, it's a new lesson. You know what I mean? To know what to do when you're 2 steps ahead of where you're at now. I think, you know, it's so crazy. Like, you're like right there. You were just like, if I was buff, and you're already drunk with power in your head, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
That's
right.
such a human thing, dude. It's funny.
And that's why I throw myself further into stand up, because I know, because one of my dreams was always to like be so badass physically with the ability to like fight that in my head I could fuck up almost anybody. In my head, at least.
Yeah.
Right. And then I finally 100% admitted to myself, I'm mostly a pussy. Even though I may seem confident, and they're like, oh, you know, this guy works out, and I'm like, you don't understand, man. If somebody like squares up, like, I'm probably gonna back down, like, unless they did something to my girlfriend, or like, but if it's just me, I'm gonna be like scared, like, honestly, I'm just gonna be like, oh fuck, you know. But like, because I know that I don't have that, and also physically I have like brittle teeth and brittle everything. I know I wasn't born genetically to be like a warrior, like a fucking Maorin, like Samoan warrior. So I just was like, you know what? Then let me throw everything into stand up so I could be such a badass there. That's where even more of the confidence will come from, because we all want to be a master of a craft, something we can be proud
of. A master in general. That's what it is, I think. We all want to be like the shit at something.
Yeah. They can be proud of, right?
Yeah.
That you know that you were in the shit eating fucking manure, like whatever the fuck, like just crap, right, for years. And then like it's like you're on like self-hazing, like, yeah, I'm in this frat, it's just me, but I did it to myself by choice.
What is your dad specifically?
He's dead.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he died 9 years ago.
Holy shit. What about your mom? What does she think of you doing stand-up?
She doesn't understand it, but
oh, sorry about your dad. I just passed it. Like, I was just like,
dude, no, it doesn't matter. Like I don't care. Yeah. My I don't care about my dad. I don't give a fuck. No, my mom didn't understand it, man. Like, she didn't understand even when I left my job where I was digital marketing. Everything. I went to college and then got a degree, and then I went to marketing, did it for years, and then it could have turned into like something with like a lot of money, but I was so fucking miserable, and I'm like, that's not me. So then I got a minimum wage job doing background acting. Right. So I'm that guy walking in the background. I'm not saying shit in movies and TVs. I'm just walking in a blur. Right. That shit. And I'm fucking happy. And then she didn't get it. But I even moved back home. I moved back home about 1.5 years ago. Like, I used to live in Sherman Oaks, but I moved back home because I had to figure this out. And now she kind of gets it, because not only am I happier and we're not like fighting like we used to, but she sees the workout, because I'm not home a lot. I'm out, like, if
doing stuff.
She knows every Sunday I shoot a podcast too, and she knows that I'm after work, after like 12-14 hours on set, I'll go do stand up even if I'm tired. Like, she knows that now, so she doesn't understand exactly what's going on, but she can understand the grind that I'm doing it.
Yeah,
and that's
she just sees you being motivated, so she can't hate.
Yeah, because before I would play video games like 10 hours a day.
Yeah.
10, 12 hours, or watch Netflix for 8 hours and just lay there just like miserable, just saying like, let me just, and then watch like anime where it's the underdog rises up because everybody's like, you can't do shit. He's like, I can't.
And then you sit there with the balls to be like, I feel like I see a lot of myself in that guy. And you're just sitting there, and that guy just took out 3 bosses, and you're just sitting there like, yeah, I'm a lot like that guy.
I cry. It's like I love watching stories where it's the underdog, nobody believes in them, and then they start to rise up, and then they're like, I can't do it. It's like, you can. It's like, and then just like, yeah. What about you? Like, how does your family feel?
I don't think nobody really gives a fuck, to be honest. It's so crazy, dude.
Yeah.
My cousin, I'm closest to like one of my cousins, and I'm like, I'll ask him to come out to hey, come watch this, come watch, and he'd be like, I'd rather go watch this other guy, you know what I mean? That there's also tickets for that guy, like shit like that. Yeah, nobody cares, man. Everyone's just, as long as I can just help with bills and shit, nobody really gives a fuck. You know?
But how do you feel about that though? You're like, oh, it's kind of freeing.
Oh, I don't care. Yeah, it's that's the best thing. It's just like it's one of these things where it's just for me 100%, you know? So it doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter if like people believe in you. It doesn't matter if people want to support you. It doesn't matter if like some people don't want to laugh. It doesn't matter if some people don't like you. Like I'm gonna still do stand up, and I'm gonna still keep getting better at it. And then you'll see. You'll all see. No,
all of you will see.
Yeah, that's
anybody that doubted Ernesto.
Yeah, that's just it, dude. Like, you fuck it, dude. I'm just gonna keep doing it. I'm gonna keep doing it. So it's like, you know, if somebody was like, I don't like the way you breathe. Why do you breathe like that? Yeah, I'm sorry, I gotta breathe. You know what I mean? So that's it. You know, it doesn't really matter what they think, which is, so it's nice that I don't think they think anything of it.
Yeah, no, I think that's great. And really, yeah, it is our thing. That's how you know you love something and you truly care for it, and that it's like your baby. If you're doing it even when nobody, I mean, going back to the bar with the basketball game and 2 people, that says everything.
Yeah.
If you're still going, instead of saying, well, there should be more people watching. I met this guy at work. He said, I've been doing stand for 2 years, and I just haven't been doing it anymore because I shouldn't be doing open mics. I should be getting booked.
Oh,
and I heard that, and I looked at him, and this is when I was maybe like a few months in, and even I knew a few months in, like, that is the wrong mentality, and you're done.
Yeah,
like you're not in it for that. Yeah,
you literally have to be thinking the entire time like, I'm not good enough. You know what I mean? And then go on stage and feel like I got this right now. But off stage, be like, I don't know what I'm doing. I gotta figure it out. Like, you're just figuring it out every time. Like, even once you're fucking selling shit out, like I would imagine you're still up at 2 a.m. Like, how the fuck do I get this to land? You know, how do I make this a better joke? Like, it's still there, you know? This is the reason why, like, people like Louis and Bill Burr, they cashed out already. You know, they cashed out. They keep cashing out. They can keep redoing the same hour. They could keep doing whatever. People fucks with them heavy. They're going to come out no matter what to watch their shows. But, you know, they're writing new shit. They're always doing new stuff. They're always putting out content just because it's something that it's just natural for them, you know? It's like Bukowski.
The Bukowski.
Like, he didn't, like, he said, like a lot of people just write just for like the wrong reasons, you know? They want like fame and they want money and all this shit. And it's like, when you're a real writer, it's just, you just write because that's all you have, you know? And I think that's a lot of the same with stand up. Like, some comics, like, I mean, just people in general, I think, are all fucked, but some comics are like really fucked. Where it's like, dude, this is it. You know, you're living in your car. You know, you're not even in the same state. You don't know anybody. Like, you're really fucked. You know, but then they do stand up, and then you just see them out there like trying out new jokes with a fucking smile on their face when something works. Like, I mean, I don't know. You just do it because you have to, right?
There's no other way. That's where the anxiety kicks in, right? Because it's telling you, your soul is telling you, like knocking on the physical door of your body, your being, like, go, do, create, fail, learn, grow, just fucking go, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm telling you, leave my house, Ernesto, leave.
I start grabbing my keys and shit.
I don't leave. Fuck. By the way, for the people that watch the my podcast on video, I'm sure some of you have been wondering what this fucking blue thing is. This blue thing I've been taking out because
Blue Chew.
Yeah, Blue Chew. It's a thing that it's like for like lunch pails to keep your food cold. And I've had this thing since middle school. And I take it out because like I always take a shower before I do the episode, and then my body gets all weird and I start sweating. And I don't want, you know, and that's what it is. And we were talking about that. It looks kind of like
Windex it looks like frozen Windex.
Yeah, like sloshy Windex.
And plot twist, Windex looks good. So
Windex looks delicious. Windex is something that you can like, I feel like you could like sip on, like in the summertime.
I'll tell you what, if I was gonna end myself, like Like drinking bleach, that's so hack.
Yeah.
I would sit there and ice cold bottle of good old Windex.
On the rocks. Windex on the rocks. Windex on the rocks. Ernesto,
Yes.
I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you.
This has been
I've been here
such
for a minute.
a fucking fun time of the podcast.
Yeah.
You like how I'm making it get all weird?
Yeah, no, it's like really dramatic, and the meat wants to just like ruin it for you, you know.
Yeah.
But go on. I'm sorry.
Ernesto,
Yes.
we gonna rise. It's so cool to watch each other's journey, man. Honestly, like I'm really excited to see where you're gonna be in like 2 years from now.
Oh yeah.
You know, even in just like the craft,
Fuck yeah.
right? It's really exciting to
excited.
see that shit, man.
Yeah. It's almost like I want time to speed the fuck up, but also I don't have enough time now. So if we could just slow down, you know, that'd
Slow
be
down.
great.
Dude, that's such a great thing you brought up because I've never understood when people said, "Oh, I wish there was more time in a day. 24 hours isn't enough." And I'm like, "It's enough." But then when I started doing this, I'm like, "No, it's not."
Yeah.
Now I get it. I see why.
Yeah.
I fucking get it, man.
Stand up is the shit.
Stand up is the shit, man. And you know what, Ernesto, where can they find you on social media?
Ernesto Ledezma.comedy on Instagram. You guys can find most of the stuff there. That's where I'm most active. Ernesto Ledezma with a Z. This is with a Z on Facebook. Ernesto Ledezma on Twitter. And then just, I don't know, Google me. I'm sure there's stuff. Google me. Ernesto Ledezma with a Z. Ledezma.
Because you know what? It's more of a unique name than Michael Kim. Because if you Google Michael Kim, some pro golfer is going to show up.
My middle name is Michael Kim. So,
Ernesto, Michael Kim Ledezma. There you go. All right, guys. You've been here. You've been listening. If you made it to the end, you know what the fuck is up. And what?
in the butt.
In the butt. And I am going to see you next time on a Set Breaker podcast. Ooh, ooh. Yeah.